Hello children, today we will be learning class 7 chapter 12 Progression of the Empire. Let's begin. The Holkars of Indore. Malhar Rao was the founder of the Holkar rule at Indore. He served the Maratha state for a long time. He was well versed in guerrilla warfare. He proved his valor in the northern campaigns of the Marathas at the time of Baji Rao I and Nanasaheb Peshwa. He was instrumental in establishing the Maratha supremacy in Malwa and Rajputana. He proved to be of great help to Peshwa Madhav Rao in reviving the Maratha prestige in the north after the defeat at Panipat. Punya Shloka Ahilyabai Holkar was the wife of Khande Rao, who was Malhar Rao's son. Khande Rao died in the Battle of Kumbheri. After a few days, Malhar Rao also passed away. After him, Ahilyabai assumed the reins of the Indore administration. She was capable, astute, and excellent administrator. She made new laws for agricultural cess, revenue collection, etc., and put the affairs of the state in order. She strove to bring more land under civilization, digging wells for farmers, promoting trade and industry, building lakes and tanks. She built temples, ghats, mutts, dharamshalas, drinking water facilities at all important places of pilgrimage in the four quarters of India. This effort of hers was important for the cultural integration of the country. She looked into judicial matters personally and dispensed justice. She was very generous. She had great love for books. She ruled ably for 28 years and enhanced the Maratha prestige in the north. She brought peace and order to her kingdom and made her people happy. Yashwantrao Holkar tried to save the Maratha kingdom when it was on the decline. The Bhosles of Nagpur. Parsoji was given the Jagir of Varhad and Gundavan during the reign of Shahu Maharaj. Among the Bhosles of Nagpur, Raghuji was the bravest and the most capable. He brought the area surrounding Tiruchirappalli and Arcot in the south under Maratha dominance. Shahu Maharaj had assigned to him the Chauthai rights of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. He brought these territories under the Maratha dominance. In 1751 CE, the Bhosles of Nagpur won the Odisha territory from Ali Vardi Khan. Till 1803 CE, Marathas dominated the Odisha. The Shindes of Gwalior. Bajirao I had rightly judged the capabilities of Ranoji Shinde and made him a Sardar in the north. After Ranoji's death, his sons Jayappa, Dattaji and Mahadji too proved their valor and strengthened the Maratha rule in North India. Peshwa Madhav Rao conferred the family title of Mahadji. Mahadji was a brave general and an astute statesman. Mahadji was instrumental in re-establishing the Maratha supremacy and prestige in North India after the Maratha defeat at Panipat. He realized that the guerrilla tactics of the Marathas would not be suitable for the warfare in the Bajin, in the plains of the north. He trained his army and modernized his artillery under the guidance of a French military expert, de Bougain. With the help of his trained army, he subdued the Rohilas, the Jats, the Rajputs and the Bundelas. The British began to take interest in the politics at Delhi. When they felt that the Marathas might have become weak after the Battle of Panipat. They managed to get Diwani rights of Bengal province and wanted to capture the Emperor of Delhi. In these adverse circumstances, Mahatji Shinde defeated the British and reinstated the Emperor on the throne. The Emperor, that he had the authority, was pleased with his bravery and conferred the title of Vakil-e-Multak, chief agent of the Emperor, upon him, which meant that he had the authority of civil and military rights. He accepted that position on behalf of the minor Peshwa Savai Madhavrao. Due to this, the Marathas gained full control of the empire. It was very difficult to save the tottering empire. Mahatji managed the difficult affairs with strong determination and looked after the Delhi affairs during 1784 CE to 1794 CE. The heirs of Najib Khan, responsible for the Panipat battle, were still plotting against the Marathas in Rohilkhand. Najib's grandson Ghulam Khadir captured the Red Fort and tortured the emperor and his begums for their wealth. He gouged out the emperor's eyes and took hold of the royal treasure. In these circumstances, Mahatji defeated Qadir. He confiscated the wealth from him and returned it to the emperor. He reinstated the emperor on the throne of Delhi. Thus, Mahatji recovered the Maratha prestige which was lost after the Battle of Panipat. He controlled politics of India by putting the emperor under Maratha control. Due to this family feuds among the Peshwas, Raghunath Rao opted to go to the British camp. He wanted to become a Peshwa with the help of the British. It was not acceptable to the Maratha statesmen. This led to an inevitable conflict between the Marathas and the British. The conflict between the two great powers, the Marathas and the British, would finally decide who the ruler of India would be. From Mumbai, the British marched on the Marathas via Borghat. The Maratha army gathered under the leadership of Mahatji Shinde. The Marathas blocked the supply of food grains to the British using guerrilla tactics. Both the enemies met at Vadgaon on today's Pune-Mumbai road. The British were defeated in this battle and were forced to surrender the custody of Raghunath Rao to the Marathas. Delhi was under Maratha control till 1803 CE. When we note that the British conquered India after battling with the Marathas, we understand the importance of Mahatji's achievements. After settling in order the affairs of Delhi, Mahatji came to Pune. He died at Vanavadi near Pune, where a memorial is built to him. Like the Shindes, the Holkars and the Bhonsles, some other prominent Maratha Sardars also rendered noteworthy service to the Maratha Raj. The navy raised by Shivaji Maharaj was strengthened by Kanhoji Angre and his son Tulaji. With a strong army, they contained the naval powers of the Portuguese, the British and the Siddhis. They defended the coastline of the Maratha state. Khanderao Dabhade and his son Trimbak Rao laid the foundation of Maratha power in Gujarat. After the death of Khanderao, his wife Umabai routed the Mughal Sardars of Ahmedabad. She conquered the fort there. Later, the Gaikwads made Vadodara in Gujarat a seat of their power. The Pawars of Dhar and Devas in Madhya Pradesh rendered valuable assistance to the Shindes and the Holkars in expanding the Maratha power in the north. The Maratha state was in disarray after the death of Peshwa Madhav Rao. Nana Fadvanis, the famous administrator of the Peshwas and the Maratha statesman, set right the affairs of the state with the help of Mahadji. While Mahadji was busy restoring the Maratha supremacy in the north, Nana managed the affairs of the south. In this, he was helped by the Patwardhans, Haripant Phadke, the Rastes and other Sardars. As a result of this, Maratha supremacy was established in the south. The Holkars of Indore, Bhosles of Nagpur, Shindes of Gwalior, Gaikwads of Vadodara brought glory to the Maratha power on the basis of their valor, leadership qualities and capability. They were the pillars of the Maratha power in its last phase. The Maratha Sardars were successful in establishing the influence of the Maratha power both in North and South India. After the death of Mahadji Shinde and Nana Fadvanis, the Maratha power began to wane. At the time, Bajirao II, the son of Raghunath Rao, was the Peshwa. He did not have leadership qualities and had many vices. He was unable to unite the Maratha Sardars. The internal strife between the Sardars weakened their power. During the reign of Bajirao II, the Maratha influence in the north and south waned further. The British replaced the Marathas. The British captured Pune in 1817 CE and hoisted their flag, Union Jack, there. The 1818 CE, the British defeated Marathas in the Battle of Ashti in Solapur district, and finally the Maratha power came to an end. This event marks a major change in the history of India. After this, the British managed to gain control over a major part of India. India came into contact with the Western world. That led to many changes in Indian social system. Many old things became redundant or were pushed aside. This was a major transformation. A major change took place. The medieval period of Indian history came to an end. The modern period began. Thank you, children. That's all for today. Please make sure you watch the video again and also read your textbooks for better understanding. Please feel free to ask any questions you may have.